Trent Dilfer didn't even get to say he's going to Disneyland. Well, actually, I'm wrong because they actually had him say that because Ray Lewis won. Ray Lewis is a murderer. And so they actually had.
Guess her bra size. Oh yeah, you're gonna guess a letter right now. What cup size?
I gotta go with double D's then.
Oh no, it's like G.
I, baby. She got I. Gentlemen.
Ready?
That's our show. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. All right, guys.
How was your weekend?
Welcome to the Juice Boys show.
Let's pinch them nipples. Tell us about it, buddy.
I've never usually look forward to these weeks with you boys. But let's get through it, guys. Shall we?
I have lost sleep with how giddy I've been to sit down and have this.
Oh, Lordy. Be nice.
Live recorded murder.
Welcome to the Juice Boys show. Three brothers-in-law. Loving, forgiving, nice.
No.
Caring of others. We started a sports podcast. And guys, we're on episode 80. Happy birthday to us. Happy, it's a round number.
Wait a minute, birthday?
I don't know. 80.
80 is a thing. Hooray.
80 is a round number. We celebrate every 10 episodes. If you've been tuning in to the beginning, we love you. Thank you so much. If you're new, tuning in, because a friend told you, welcome.
They're going to be very confused by us bashing you this episode.
Yeah, come back next week. It should be, you know what?
If you're brand new here, you're in for a ride. This has been 80 weeks worth of buildup just for Joey and I to just beat Cody senseless.
Oh, Lordy.
For an hour.
A sports podcast for the sports morons, by the sports morons. We were bound by the 3 Bs, booze, betting, and bullshit. We'll see if we like each other at the end of this.
Not likely.
Whenever you're listening, thank you so much. Thank you, Juice Junkie community. We love you. You can tell I'm a little rough this week. So we'll, I have an idea. Should we talk about the arts? Maybe politics this week?
Yeah.
Maybe like.
Yeah. I think that's why everybody showed up.
There's
gardening?
There's nothing less contentious than talking about politics.
Yeah.
Right now.
How about smoking meats? We could really explore the space this
Not
week.
that you know anything about that.
No, but I can ask questions. So I'm the third turd. Cody, we got Juice Boy Joe. We got Mr. Polt Pelletier. Guys, how are you? What are we drinking this week? Episode 80 to celebrate.
You know what?
Celebration drinks.
I'm not celebrating anything because, I'm just gonna come out and say that I knew that was gonna happen.
For sure, because you claimed it. You for sure put it up. Yeah, you for sure put it in.
No, I'm not going to celebrate. I'm not going to celebrate anything. I thought it was going to be a better game. We'll talk about it in a second, but I am drinking my favorite whiskey. Just easy to go, Maker's Mark. I love it. Let's go. Let's drink that up. And now that we're back into the regular cycle of the show, getting back into trying to fill the airs with something else besides football.
We got one more week of football.
I'm going back to my beer chaser.
Yeah,
and I'm going back to drinking local craft.
Okay.
All right. Going Oscar Blues, one of my favorites. Please, Oscar Blues. I've said this for 80 weeks now. Oscar Blues, throw us some love. Hazy Blues Juicy IPA. It's delightful.
Chris
Came prepared.
You still saying it's straight dry as a raisin? We got a LaCroix? What we got? Nothing?
You bet. I've got a nice tall glass of McCoy's Tears, and I'm ready to tap dance on your grave.
Salt water? Okay. My wife's like, hey, it's going to be a long episode. I made you something special. We got a White Russian. I got a Caucasian.
Oh, nice.
Nice. I was just going to drink straight whiskey, Granddad, 114 proof, no ice, just to really got to feel it.
That is a drink that you drink when you're having a great day.
Burn away your sorrows.
That's what I thought. And my wife was like, let me make you something a little more. So I got a Caucasian, guys. All right, we got a sports docket. I wonder what we'll talk about. Hopefully sewing, maybe yard work, shopping list. We got a sports docket. Squeeze of the week, Moron Mountain's claim to shame. We got a big potato based on the Waste Management Open because it's now golf season, boys. So we'll start sprinkling that.
Hell yeah.
And we're going to look at how we did in our preseason picks, who was smart, who was dumb, who had the goods. So
last time to talk about football, we might as well do a NBA preview next week.
I guess
the season really just starts.
It just now becomes relevant to anyone.
That's right. All right, Super Bowl 59 is in the books. It wasn't really a game. Really,
it was not.
What after the third drive? It was 24-0 after a while. The O line just fucking shit the bed. Take it away, boys. I don't give a shit.
Okay, so can you now? There's two ways of looking at it. There is that the O line shit the bed, or the Eagles' front four is just that dominant, and the Chiefs hadn't faced anything like that this season. Those dudes are freaks.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it says, and their offensive line, like I told you, Saquon didn't have the best game. He didn't.
How many yards did he have? I don't even know.
I think he had like 66.
Yeah,
I literally said 68 yards, so I was right on one thing in the entire weekend. And Joey at 1,000.
You can really hang your hat on that.
I'll take it. I'll take the one.
So but Saquon did exactly what Saquon needed to do. You know, it's like they game planned for Saquon, and then who ended up beating them? Freaking Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts played his ass off. All right, that guy was phenomenal. That deep bomb he threw to Devontae was perfect. That was amazing. That was when the game was just wide open, 35-0. I was just joking when I said at the beginning, I did not see this coming. I did not see this just absolute ass kickery.
You know who did? Remember the one person who called the blowout when we were talking about predictions for scores?
21-7. Okay, yeah. Hold on.
You know what's wild is until you all picked up a couple of garbage time touchdowns, I was being too generous to the Chiefs, saying 7.
I guess so. You were.
There was a while there where I thought it might be a shutout. I was like, oh man,
it should have been, honestly.
And then I don't know how they scored 22 points. I mean, that was like remarkable that you ended up having 3 touchdowns. But Cody, how are you feeling right now? Because I've got a lot I have to say still, but I want to see how
you can go, baby, go.
The Eagles game plan was just absolutely phenomenal, and I think that they were expecting something way different than what the Eagles gave them. Patrick Mahomes became the 6th quarterback ever to face 0 blitzes. They did not blitz one time, and during that time they had 6 sacks with only 4-man pressures. That is just absolute dominance.
You're going to win any game, no matter who you play.
Absolute dominance.
100%.
6 sacks, 11 QB hits. He ended up with 257 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, and a fumble. Arguably, Patrick Mahomes' worst game that he has ever played. I mean, you could honestly think back on it.
Because how much of it was stat stuffing at the end, too? Like,
exactly.
Yeah, when it actually mattered.
He came out of the half with like 40 yards passing and still managed to force feed it in at 257.
That's a funky stat, too. You're right.
He had a QBR of 1 in the first half. 1. I mean, I don't know if you can get a 0, but I mean, it's just like but one isn't good. And the 3 turnovers led to 17 points. So I know that the garbage time they still lost by 18, but still that's remarkable. Did not see that coming. All right. I mean, what was it, McCoy? What was it?
It was the O line. It was literally the O lines, because that's how the Bucks blew them out. I think, like Chris said, or Chris maybe agreed when I said it, an O line with no blitzing, if the D line can get pressure and that many sacks without blitzing, without seeing an extra guy, you're going to win 100% of the games. And then I think Brady called it very quick. Pat's feet, because he wasn't comfortable in the pocket, he couldn't do anything. So he was scrambling for his life. He was forcing things, trying to make plays. Here's how it went. The jersey for me came off in the second quarter. I stopped watching at halftime. I sent my parents home at halftime. I yelled at my wife for still watching the game at the 2-minute warning of the fourth quarter. Yeah. So
you missed all the
So what I'm hearing is your wife
is
a more diehard fan than you.
Oh, I just couldn't handle it. But hey, I told everyone to pray for my heart, and God works in mysterious ways, because my heart never got, because it was such a bad game that I got to put my child to bed. I got to, it was a good. It's the age-old question.
Her first loss, the first loss.
That's true.
Of her life.
It's the big question. Would you rather get your ass kicked and blown out where it was never a game, or would you rather lose at the buzzer and break your heart? And I am 1,000% on the blowout and move on with my night instead of a.
See, that's interesting, because both of their losses have been absolute blowouts.
And I'm okay with that. So, I got to move on fairly quick. The first blowout.
You just described running your own family out of your house, and you're like, I'm fine. I'm okay.
Yeah, it was good.
It's okay.
It's
all right, man. Let's just move on. But it was the O-line, D-line.
I'm beating your parents.
Saquon, the whole gameplay we talked about was to make Jalen Hurts beat you. Give him credit. He fucking balled out.
Sure did.
He did. So he deserved to win that. But yeah, the O-line coach was the same when the Buccaneers kicked their ass. We got to get rid of this O-line coach. It was frustrating. It was just a hole. I pretty much after D-Hop dropped the wide open pass with not a single defender in the frame, the man's a Hall of Famer. He dropped it. I said, that's it. There's no magic that night. So
where do the Chiefs go from here? All right, they have like 80% of their salary cap is in 5 players. Travis Kelce was non-existent. Does he retire?
Just irrelevant.
I mean, does he retire? What do they do with that? And if he retires, are they allowed to have that cap space back? I know they still have to pay him, but I don't know how that works. It's gonna hit it. Is this the end of the Chiefs' window?
No, that's a stupid thing to say.
So defend it.
You have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Like, what are we talking about? You have Rashee Rice, who was hurt all year, who's a true number 1. You have Worthy as a number 2. You bring back maybe Hollywood Brown on a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
As long as you got Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes, it's like Tom Brady and Belichick. You're always going to have a chance. You're always going to be in it. So it's just, can they get the second phase like the Patriots did? Can they get the second team?
Now he's headed his first 5 Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how the next 5 go.
Yeah, we'll see.
5 more. That's not gonna happen.
Oh my gosh. Why would it not happen? Tom Brady was the quarterback of the first 3. He didn't win 3. He was the quarterback of a team that won 3 Super Bowls. He has a better first half of a career than Tom Brady. You know, it's safer to assume he'll reach more than it was at Brady's point at age 29. To assume he was going to get more. But Pat has to clock in on this second half of his career to keep up with Tom. So
yeah, you got to be able to throw the ball to the right team in order to get there.
How about the Fantastic Whites or whatever their nickname was? The Cooper DeJean.
Oh man, that was
his nickname?
Of the game. Oh yeah, it was what was it like? Exciting Whites.
The Exciting Whites. That's right.
The Exciting Whites got the job done. A beautiful pick 6.
I was so upset with that bomb by Jalen Hurts because I put a couple bucks on Cooper DeJean. It's plus 750 after that pick 6 to be Super Bowl MVP. Oh man, that would have been awesome.
Chris, overall thoughts? We didn't give you your moment.
Oh my God, I had a great night. We had a whole squadron of people watching the Super Bowl, and we were kind enough to bring one token Chiefs fan for us all to just
that poor
beat
soul.
down senselessly. It was a spectacular time, a spectacular game. One of the most fun Super Bowls in recent memory. Yeah, I mean, just spectacular from start to finish. I loved every minute of it.
They just got out coached. The Chiefs did. It was just a good old fashioned ass kicking. And like Kelsey said, it was the worst game they played all year. Probably the last 2 since the Raiders Christmas game, honestly. And so you honestly just think, as I reflect as a part of this team, is it just you went for 3 straight years, balls to the walls, and the gas pedal, you just ran out of gas on literally the last possible game. You ran out of gas. But hey, you did something no one else has ever done. It sucks that you were this close to history.
Lose 40-6.
What did they something they'd never done before? What was that?
Make it to the 3rd straight Super Bowl in the Super Bowl
Patriots
era.
did that. Patriots went to 3 straight.
Not after winning back-to-back.
Yeah, but they went to 3 straight.
Not winning back-to-back.
They just lost.
Not going for a three-peat. No,
I
one's
think
ever.
winning after losing one in between. That's probably harder.
Oh, I'm sure if it was any other team, you wouldn't give a shit about that stat that you're trying to pull out.
But you know,
and if it was any other team, you wouldn't be trying to make a case of it's a special thing. You have to go back to back and then also go back again versus
guys. It's a fact. They went
straight.
further than any team ever to go after going back to back. Like that's not a biased, debatable fact. Like it's a fact. It happened. Give me that, damn it.
It is a fact. The idea that anybody gives a shit, though, is where the
correct.
bias
No, they didn't win, so it'll get lost in.
I wonder if these 3-peat Chiefs shirts will have the same glory as the undefeated season Patriots shirts.
In where Ghana? Where do you think they're at? Right now? South America.
I think it went to.
They're gonna wind up being worn by our new friend in Namibia.
That's right. Look out for them.
They're gonna get the Chiefs.
Oh my God! If you're listening in Namibia and you can hook us up with one of those,
help us out, huh?
One of those shirts. God, that would just be spectacular now, wouldn't it, boys?
So the
Good for
Patriots
Jalen
undefeated
Hurts,
season, a Patriots undefeated season one went to Nicaragua, and it became the jerseys for a girls' soccer team, and they won the championship. So at least somebody got
at least
to rock
somebody
those
did.
with some pride. So yeah, I just wonder who's going to be rocking. You're going to see those on the streets one day. Three-peat Chiefs.
Yeah, I like that. But I give Kelsey and Mahomes. They took all the blame. It's like, yeah, we came out, got our asses kicked. They said all the right things. Who knows? Kelsey said he's going to think about it if he comes back. Tegon went for a few years. I think you can play old man tight end ball. You don't have to go for 1,000 every year.
I mean Jason Witten, but I mean
Jason Witten did for Antonio Gates.
Kelsey doesn't block though, so I mean you can't do a Jason Witten. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what he does. I think he's too much of a spotlight guy to come back and not play and not like want to be a starter and not want to do that. But use him as like Julius Thomas. Just use him in the red zone, and the guy can get 10 touchdowns.
Yeah,
that's all he did.
Show it for the playoffs. Show it for the back half of the year.
Yeah. So we need to get Ewan back on to get his review of the halftime show. See if
I felt
that
so
seemed
much
to be
better connected to the halftime show thanks to Juice E
true.
and his inside track view that he gave us, both on the importance of only staying up late on a weekend night and also the Drake Kendrick beef.
Seemed like that was the culmination of the Drake Kendrick beef. I think you could say.
Was that the final mic drop?
I mean, it was like a
that's
live
over.
murder.
Yeah.
Like I think I texted you two being like, this has to have been what it felt like to be a spectator in the Coliseum watching some dude just get brutally killed and being like, like bummer for that guy, but for the rest of us, the vibes are great.
Well, and Kendrick won Song of the Year the week before on that diss track. Played it at the Super Bowl.
5 Grammys.
Poor Drake is sitting at home like, fuck, it won't stop.
He's being called
Just
a
getting
pedophile.
beaten to death, being called a pedophile on
The entire stadium A minor.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
My
Drake's
Talk about your all-time bad days, huh, Drake?
jeez. Fucking Drake. He just, it wouldn't stop. When wouldn't end? Oh, guys, did we make it through? Are we done? Did we do it? Did we make it through?
You mean just wait for my squeeze? But yeah, for now.
All right, guys, let's wrap up the NFL season. Let's look at our picks for 2024. Who was smart? Who was dumb? Who made the most outlandish picks, guys? I'll share my screen. We will, since it's a podcast, Chris, we'll go ahead and talk to the folks about what happened here.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Cool.
We made our picks before the year started. Let's see where we ended up. AFC West, Juice Boy Joe, Chiefs. Good for you, boy. Mr. Pope Pelletier wrote nothing. He demanded we keep it blank.
Yeah, I didn't demand. I just said to.
It's nothing.
I'm not gonna pick anybody.
Juice Boy McCoy, Chiefs. So pretty smart there. North, Ravens. Hey, we were pretty smart there. Look at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
AFC East, Bills. I took Miami. Damn it.
Haha, I'm in the lead.
Freaking. Tua didn't have it. AFC South, Houston Texans, Colts, Texans. Chris is the dum-dum there.
Still in the lead by one.
Still in the lead. NFC West, San Fran.
Oh, no.
Not even close, boys.
Wow. We struck out there. Who won that division? That was, does anyone give a shit? Who won the
part right now? Because it wasn't the Rams.
It wasn't
the Rams win?
No, it was the Rams.
No, it was the Rams.
The
Yeah.
Rams won? Okay.
Jeez. NFC North, Lions. That almost didn't happen for all of us based on week 18, but it did. NFC East, Eagles, Dallas. Damn, Chris, what are we thinking?
Up by 2, baby.
Swing and a miss.
What are we thinking? MVP, Pat Mahomes for
Wait,
Joe.
you missed the South.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. NFC South, Bucks, Falcons.
Up
Who
by
the hell
3.
won that?
The Bucks won. I'm up by 3, baby.
All right. Now it gets to fun how we weight these things. MVP, Pat Mahomes, Juice Boy Joe, Josh Allen. Good job, Chris. We were smart.
We nailed it.
Pretty good pick there.
Up by 2.
Comeback player of MVP's a big, you got to weigh that one a little bit. A lot of players out
A
there.
MVP is a
3-point
much
lead
tougher
on
call.
8 picks? That's a pretty big lead.
Yeah, but it's 1 out of 4
Yeah,
per.
but you've got a 1 and 4 versus MVP. There's a shitload of people up for consideration.
I'm up by
there.
1 then. Give him 2 points.
Oh, my gosh.
You
Comeback
with
player of the
Pat
year.
Mahomes, dude didn't even make the Pro Bowl.
Comeback player of the year, Nick Chubb. Damn, Nick Chubb. Anthony Richardson, Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow did win.
Joe Burrow did win?
He did win.
That a boy. That's +2, Joe. I'm in the lead now, friend.
Damn it.
Defensive player of the year, Parsons. Hutch. Oh, Hutch. Damn it. Broke his snapped
He was
his like
on
an out.
pace, boys. He was on pace.
TJ Watt. It was Surtain, boys.
Yeah,
Good old
hell yeah.
donkey. Good for him. No one saw it coming. Offensive player of the year, CeeDee Lamb, Joey. Saquon Barkley, Chris. Hit with the
Nailed
dub.
it.
Gets it.
Tyreek Hill for me, nothing. So Chris is where?
Ooh.
Chris making a comeback.
Ooh, how about this next one?
Defensive. What do we got?
What is Chris now? Defensive player, rookie.
Defensive rookie
of the year. Dallas Turner.
Blant.
I took Chop Robinson. I think that was only because his name was Chop.
Hell yeah.
But
And-
you know who won?
Who won it?
Jared
boy.
Verse. Chris
Jared
is cleaning
Verse.
up.
I think Chris is on it.
Behemoth of a man.
Did Chris
Offensive
take
rookie of the
lead?
year. Bo Nix. Worthy
Close.
from. Ooh. Xavier Worthy, Chris. Good for you. Caleb Williams. I can't. Wow. Super Bowl picks. Lions for Joe. 49ers for Chris. Dead last because they didn't make it. Chiefs for Cody. So I technically get maybe
No,
8
you
points.
get nothing.
You get nothing and you'll like it.
Why would I get nothing? I'm
lose.
as close to anyone else.
Good day, sir.
Because, okay,
Oh my
because
God,
Bo
close
Nix came in
doesn't matter
second
for
for
shit.
offensive rookie of the year, so I should get points for that.
Yeah, but there's 32 teams. You got to get close.
There's 32 rookies. There's a lot more than 32 rookies.
Yeah, but Chris got the 49ers. Didn't even make the playoffs.
So it's just zero. None of us get anything for this.
I think we're waiting that. So I think.
no.
So what
No,
did we
no, no,
learn?
no,
They're not waiting shit.
No. Did the Chiefs win the Super Bowl?
No, that's why you don't. I don't get the full
okay,
points.
Cool. So you got it wrong.
So I don't get the full
Moving
points.
on.
So who won? Who had the better? Were we all
All right,
pretty
let's see
tight?
here.
So I had 7 of the 8, and then I had none of the rest.
Then he went over. Yeah,
Boys,
but Chris
I called half of the postseason award.
You got 10 points to my 7. Cody, you had 9 points. Chris wins.
Christopher
by 1
Pelletier.
point.
Go,
Christopher
boys.
wins.
The smartest.
Oh my God. And I stand by, had Hutchinson not gotten injured, like that dude was on a tear.
He was on there. You were going to be
Yeah.
just fine on that. Guys, it's been a lovely 2024, 2025 NFL season.
I'm happy to hear you say that, even with how heartbreaking that was.
I mean, you won back to back. Like, what are you supposed?
I mean,
I got to be
My favorite
grateful.
part of it was the end.
I got to be grateful for. I mean, there was a 50-year drought
What a
where I didn't think I'd ever
crescendo.
see my team ever get to the AFC Championship or a Super Bowl. Just went back to back. I got to feel okay.
How many consecutive AFC championships?
8, 7 or 8? Yeah,
7.
because next year would tie with Brady, I think. So he's got one more he's got to make to tie with Brady. So
Okay.
it's a good time. It's just
Let's need an off season.
just give me a week, guys. Just give me a week.
It's going to be a long off season here.
Yes, it is. Let's take a quick music break, guys. I think Joey's going to squeeze. Stay tuned. We'll see you on the other side. Stay loose.
wait.
Stay
Oh.
juicy.
The in the stand.
Guys, welcome back. What a long commercial break. So many sponsors.
to be
Just
back.
so much. I can't believe it. Episode 80. 80 hours of debauchery.
We
I
made
can't believe it.
got
Next is,
here.
check the math. Next is 90. After that, 100 episodes. Guys,
have to do something special. Have all of our listeners all on one episode. Have everybody talking at
Have
once.
all three.
No one's allowed to wear headphones. Just guess when it's your turn to talk.
That's right.
You can't hear what anyone else is saying. It's just a cacophony
that would
of
check
bullshit.
out. That would check
What a
out.
word. Cacophony.
That's the biggest
Can't
word in
wait.
80 episodes we've ever used. Good for you.
That's out some pretty big words.
Verisimilitude.
sometimes. Nice roll
Wait,
with it.
define that word. I don't even know the word that. What was the word you said?
Cacophony?
Yeah. Define that.
Cacophony.
Doesn't it mean just
A
like
raucous,
uproarious
loud,
noise?
overwhelming noise.
Can you spell it?
No.
CACOPHONY.
You could have spelled anything and I would have believed you.
So it's just
PENIS.
phony?
Probably. Juice Junkies tuning in on our spelling skill.
Fucking juice junkie spelling bee. Welcome, everyone. God, isn't this just a great use of your Friday?
Squeeze of the week. Moron Mountain claim to shame. One of our favorite segments going on since the beginning. Episode 1, Squeezes of the week. Our most outlandish takes. I see Joey has a check mark. I'll give you the space, friend. Let's see what you
I
got.
cannot wait.
Okay. Well, to first, because I am a man of my word, and I ripped on you for saying that you were going to have to take the claim to shame this week. You were correct. That was the most watched Super Bowl of all time. It beat last year.
Did it really?
I cannot believe it. It
I
did.
can't believe it either.
I cannot believe it. It was the highest rated ever. The halftime show was not. So people must have just turned it off or something at halftime. I don't know how you can tell. I mean, I don't know. They're listening to my phone, all the time. So I mean, I'm sure they can tell what channel you're watching and when you're watching it. However, Mike, I will take that. My claim to shame is that I called you out, and you were correct.
Thank you.
But
Should we
now
move
you're
on.
gonna
Thanks. That's our segment, boys. Let's
see, but
move on
now-
to. Oh, he's got more.
Play the outro.
Yeah, he's got more.
Now I have to get to my point. I started last week by saying I was nervous of Patrick Mahomes. After this last game, after this last week of hearing it over and over and over again from my friend Mike Greenberg and everybody else on ESPN, can we please finally put a stop to the Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Michael Jordan comparisons? Can we please stop this? All right, now you can say why Brady lost 3 Super Bowls. Yes, Brady lost 3 Super Bowls. Brady lost 3 Super Bowls by a combined 15 points in those 3 losses.
2 of them were the Giants who snuck into the playoffs.
Hang on. The 3 losses, 5-point average. All right, Mahomes started out the same as Brady, 3-2 in his first 5 Super Bowls. Mahomes lost 40 total points in those games, a 20-point average. All right, now you look at in the wins. Tom Brady was plus 51 points in his 7 wins. It's a 7.3 point average to Mahomes' 17 points in his 3 wins, was a 5.6 point average. So what is Rialto always talking about? How you play in the big game. That's why Michael Jordan is always considered the top, number 1 of all time, because he was 6-0 and he always showed up in his games. Tom Brady lost by 8 points to the Eagles, lost by 4 points to the Giants and 3 points to the Giants. In his 10 Super Bowls, it's a plus 36-point margin. In Mahomes' 5 Super Bowls, it's a minus 23-point margin. In the 5 Super Bowls, they're getting outscored by 23 points. Everybody judges greatness by how you perform in the championship. And it's not even comparable. Tom Brady's worst 5 Super Bowls, their point differential was 2. They lost by 2 total points in his worst 5 Super Bowls compared to 23. In his best, they won by 38 more points in those 5 best Super Bowls.
Wait, I thought all that mattered was the record.
Absolute dominance. It does matter about record, yes, but it also matters in how you play when you get there. All right, and so it's why Magic Johnson gets so much. Yes, he lost 3 times in his career too, but he was 5-3. But he never shit the bed. He never had his worst performance of his entire career in the Super Bowl. All right, Brady. Now this is something that has to happen.
Magic Johnson played in the Super Bowl.
At this point, I was talking about Patrick Mahomes. At this point, we're talking about the first half of his career. Yes, he's had a better first half of his career than Tom Brady. Tom Brady's last 12 years of his career, 4 Super Bowls, an MVP, 54,000 yards passing. That's more than John Elway. 20 playoff wins. That's the most ever by any quarterback ever. And that was in his last 12. All right, not even including his first 12. All right, so at this point, with the performances that has happened in the Super Bowls, this has to be done. It has to be put to rest. There is no more there is no more talk. Mahomes can be in conversations with Peyton and Joe Montana for 2, but I think this is it. Tom Brady will forever be number 1. Will be the GOAT.
Really? So Pat has no more time to change any of that? It's just over? The 29-year-old we're just done?
We'll see. I'm saying at this point, the conversations have
at
to
this
stop.
point. What do you said?
18-point loss, 22-point loss in Super Bowl. He's got 10 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. Tom Brady had 6 in 10 games.
That's great. They ran the ball 80,000 times the first 3. He did nothing but hand the ball off.
Okay, now you say that they're average statistics. Mahomes averaged 265 yards per game in the Super Bowl to Brady's 304. So, no, that's not the case.
They scored 13 points for 2 of their Super Bowls. Like, what are we talking about?
They didn't lose by 22.
They scored 13. They weren't some juggernaut. It was the defense and running. He was the Trent Dilfer of the team. He was the quarterback. That's why no one called him the GOAT until long after he beat Montana. It was like, oh, shit, yeah, he was never the GOAT until after that.
Tom Brady had 3 legitimate Hall of Fame careers. You could say his first career.
All right, we know all this. He repeated all this.
First 6, he had 86 wins, more than Staubach did in his career. He had more touchdowns than Namath. He had more passing yards than Greasy. He had more Super Bowls than Elway in his first 6 years of his career. So it doesn't matter what you're saying about him being a system quarterback or not. He would still be a Hall of Famer with those statistics.
That's fine. But also, you just spewed 12 years of stats of Brady's that Mahomes hasn't even played. So that's irrelevant to this.
he has to continue at this point.
Mahomes is
So at this-
29. Mahomes has better first half stats. Brady is ultimately the GOAT. If he would have got the three-peat, he could have backdoor his way into a GOAT conversation. Now we have to wait 12 years to actually see.
He's never
what
going to
will happen.
never going to have double-digit losses twice.
That's fine. A
in the
win
biggest
and losses.
stage.
How many rings are you going to
Biggest
get?
stage. So, Chris,
But also, there's 11 players on each side of the. You have a whole defense, like we said. They shit the bed. The O-line shit the bed. So it's like, are we playing a team sport or are we not?
I think this is what we call scrambling. You're scrambling there, McCoy.
No, we have 12 fucking years, guys, to see where Pat Mahomes goes. Like, to call the GOAT conversation is so moronic.
Man.
He's 29 and he's even in the conversation.
Hang on.
You can't say
You have been
he's
force feeding the comparison to Michael Jordan
Yes.
since we started this.
Of course.
And so you've decided that is a worthwhile comparison, and Joey has gone ahead and taken that comparison out at the knees. And so to say that he's got 12 more years to earn a comparison that you've already been getting.
He's already compared to Brady.
fucking
The
years?
conversation's already
It's
having.
over. You
No,
can't
it's
be-
not. Why?
Why? Because he got his ass kicked.
Who gives a shit? He has 12 years to actually do all the things
Okay, but-
Brady does.
I'm just saying at this point, no. Brady never got his ass kicked in the Super Bowl. Not once.
Yeah,
not-
you're right. He
definitely
lost
not
to the
twice.
Giants, who fucking barely got into playoffs as 9-7. They
Made
were.
it to the Super Bowl.
That's
Made it to the Super
fine,
Bowl.
and they
Made
lost
it
just
to the
like
Super
Pat. An
Bowl.
L is an L. What are we talking about? Eli Manning, who isn't even a Hall of Famer.
Not by 22 and not by collective 40 points. No. That's Jordan. No, that's not it. So yeah, he's still excellent. Still got a lot. Still might be able to catch him, but that's not. No, you got to show, and you can't be outscored in your 5 championship appearances. That it can't happen.
How many rings does he have?
3.
How many does Brady have? At 29. So like they're even.
Yeah. Brady didn't win his
37.
4th until 37.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're
Yeah.
So, we'll pause this debate for 12 years and then tune back into the Juice Boys show to see where this
Joey,
goes.
I do need to do some disagreeing with you though.
Oh.
I went ahead and did a little looking into the broadcast numbers because I knew that we were going to need to talk about that. First and
Wait, am I
foremost,
wrong?
I found out the Nielsen Corporation still exists and is the broadcast numbers, guys.
Hey.
And also, they changed the way that they count viewers right before the Super Bowl to quote unquote account for out of the home viewers better. And so, part of the reason why this was the most watched of all time is that they just went ahead and just inflated the numbers of people they assumed were watching
Fake
each and
news.
every TV tuned in.
Well, regardless, the numbers are numbers, and McCoy, it said it was the most watched.
Hey,
So,
I'll take it.
I just at least wanted to represent that I took at least 45 seconds to briefly
Attaboy.
peruse an article and learn some things.
Also, how many top 10 defenses did Brady have compared to Mahomes?
They were top 10 this year.
No, but like in the 3 or the 5 to this point.
The Chiefs
Brady
always-
always had a top 10 defense.
So the
Patton-
Chiefs defense is fantastic.
This one year, he had to win a
they've
bunch
always-
without him.
they've been
No,
good for a
they've been
while.
awful. No, they haven't. They've always been the
Chris
high-flying
Jones
team.
and everything.
No, they had players, but not a top 10 defense. Tom Brady had a top. He was and good for him. He had a great, amazing defense to get him also a part of that. That's why he's the Trent Dilfer of the first 3.
Trent Dilfer, what? The 3-time MVPs of Trent Dilfer?
2-time.
2-time. So 2-time MVPs of Trent Dilfer?
Yeah.
Trent Dilfer didn't even get to say he's going to Disneyland.
The fact you knew that.
Well, actually, I'm wrong because they actually had him say that because Ray Lewis won. And Ray Lewis is a murderer.
He's
and so they
like,
actually had
Get the
they
innocent white
actually
guy
had
in there.
Trent Dilfer say it. I can't believe I know that, but I'm wrong in my own statement. Trent Dilfer did say it. That's
He
ridiculous.
did say it. In the same breath, either. You didn't even. I mean, as you were talking, you corrected. I was
I was like, actually, wait a second. I can't
The
believe
live
that. No.
fact check going
They
on.
don't want a murderer at Disney. So
I'll do a quick squeeze based on not based on that. More, I was. It's more Moron Mountain. I'm putting Chiefs Kingdom on Moron Mountain. A percentage of them who is overreacting, saying blow the whole fucking thing up. Like, come on, guys! You just went to 3 straight Super Bowls. You've had 5 Super Bowls in 7 years, 7 straight NFC. Before that, it was 50 years of grieving and depression, and you never thought you'd see the day. Let's just like take a breath. Brett Veach is Brett Veach. He's going to go figure it out. The 2022 draft class is the first playoff loss they have ever experienced. Chiefs Kingdom needs to all Yes, it hurts right now. It fucking sucks. We hate it. Everyone loves it. We hate it. But like, you don't blow the whole thing up. What are we talking about?
I think no matter what, there's always a certain percentage of every single fan base at the end of every single season saying it's time to blow.
Yeah,
it up.
like just do the whole thing. Yeah, you're right.
No reason whatsoever. You could have just had an undefeated season. They're like, all right, can't repeat it, so let's just go ahead and blow
the
it
whole
up.
thing up. Yeah. So just a mini squeeze for
There's
me.
just always
If Ryan Day doesn't
that's
beat
fair.
Michigan, fire him. You know, it's the exact same thing. You expect this greatness, and now Cody, I would normally say that's ridiculous, but I do worry about how they're going to be able to replenish this team. I think that this was just a core group that's why they won every one score game. We're able to like just win because of this core. They need receivers. They need
1,000%.
they need a running back. You know, and I know that Pacheco is decent, but they need a running back, and we'll see. You know, I think they're definitely not going to just go away. They're going to be good,
Right.
but you know,
Just don't blow. I don't know what you mean. Like Rashee Rice is a number one, and he was out the whole year. You could have him and Worthy, two rookies. Pacheco just like broke his leg and tried coming back. So if he gets healthy, I mean, we had the best interior O-line of anyone in the league, but you had to move Joe Tooney out to left tackle, which blew the whole thing up when the Eagles just big
give it some time. Give it
God, it
some
was
time.
great.
I mean, there was times people calling for everybody's head after the Patriots lost when they were going into that game 19-0. You know, so it's just like, okay, and I was one of them. I was just like, it's over.
Of course you
Everything, it's over. The legacy's done. You know, because at that point I was like, well, Joe Montana never lost.
Speaking of fun facts, I also found what is this? Patriots losing 14-33 at home. The wild card game. Tom Brady threw 3 picks in the big game.
It's not a big game.
That's
It's
a
Super Bowl.
I mean,
That's just a playoff game. So yeah,
okay. I'm just
a
you know, it
wild
happens.
card game,
Everyone
bro.
has bad games, guys.
It's a
Everyone has
wild
bad
card
games.
game.
Yeah,
6-40 though, buddy.
6-40. It's 22. Lost by 20.
Yeah.
Literally
You
the
picked
same
up
as
you
Tom
picked
Brady
up a
lost this
couple of
game.
points in
The
garbage
final score is
time.
the final
6-40.
score. I don't know what to tell you.
Shocking.
Yeah, once they put in the twos, you managed to squeeze a couple by.
Really hurt my
After Sirianni had already gotten the Gatorade back,
They
you guys
threw
were like,
one more prayer
"Got
up.
a touchdown! Woo!"
really hurt my chances of Harrison Butker getting a doink when he never kicked the ball.
Seriously,
Yeah,
you got to get past the 50 to do that. Joey, if people like me and you want to spend their squeeze of the week Moron Mountain claim to shames, how do they do so?
Friends, juice junkies, heartbroken Chiefs fans, happy, ridiculous, burning the city down Eagles fans, and everybody else.
Yes.
You can submit your most outlandish sports take, Moron Mountain nominee, or claim to shame by emailing us at juiceboyshow@gmail.com or send us a DM on Instagram at juiceboyshow. And if it has the pulp, we'll read it on the show. Chris,
Hey, fella.
what's behind you?
The most beautiful play of the entire Super Bowl when Mahomes simultaneously got strip sacked and just smoked in the face.
We didn't bring this up. Not only is McCoy getting lambasted, he has to look at Jalen Carter destroying Patrick Mahomes this entire episode.
Yeah, but they get all the calls. The Chiefs get all the calls, right?
No, that was called a penalty.
Oh, I wasn't watching the game, so I'm glad you
that
corrected
was,
me because I was not
yeah.
watching.
No, that was called a penalty.
It was? Okay.
Yeah, but it was after he fumbled. So it was
okay.
Yeah, but it was still called a penalty.
Chris, get over the fucking ad, damn it.
Who's sponsoring today's show?
Today's episode of the Juice Boys Show is brought to you by your Super Bowl 49 champions, the Philadelphia Eagles.
59. The Patriots were 49.
59. Oh my God, typo. My apologies, Juice Junkies. My God, boys, it has finally come to pass. The evil empire has fallen, and the Philadelphia Eagles stand alone as America's team after handing out a beatdown that was so comprehensive and unstoppable, not even the refs dared to intervene. But obviously, this outcome was what we all expected, as the Philadelphia Eagles have a rich history of showing up in the Super Bowl and tearing down quarterbacks whose egos have gotten too big. Right, Joe?
Yeah, that happened. Yeah.
But enough about the past and His Holiness Nick Foles. Let's talk about Jalen Hurts and what many in sports media are calling the single most dominant Super Bowl performance of all time. We here at the Juice Boys Show salute you, Philadelphia Eagles, for your incredible 40-6 evisceration of whoever the hell that other team was that forgot to show up before eventually allowing future Hall of Famer Kenny Pickett an opportunity for mop-up duty.
That's right. Kenny Pickett got in the game.
The Philadelphia Eagles have truly saved us all from the most annoying possible timeline and given this country its first opportunity for unity in recent memory. The Philadelphia Eagles. Because you can have the worst fans in the country and still be the greatest team in the world.
It's true.
Did they pay for that? They paid for their own?
They did.
Dick sucking?
No, we're paying for this because we're so proud of them.
So McCoy, now you can join.
It's a
me
write-off.
and having a long time permanent soul hatred for the Eagles. Nick Foles. Nick freaking Foles.
Nick, big dick.
God,
Foles,
he's
baby.
just the man.
All right, guys, our big tot, our big potato, big starchy fella. For those that didn't know, the Waste Management happened in Scottsdale. Not a ton.
Little lackluster. I think those psychos last year ruined it.
Yeah.
They definitely did. They said that they beefed up security like threefold or something like that.
So there wasn't a sports docket really story worthy, but there was a hole in one, so beer showers everywhere. I always figure, like, how do they clean that up?
We love that.
Do you like sponge
Takes
the
a while.
green?
Yeah,
What do you do with that?
I think they just leave it and let it's grass. So I mean,
Just soak it in.
just-
That's a
yeah,
whole
let's
you got to
go.
read the green different. But based on Waste Management, golf season is upon us. Get your fireball out of your bags, nice and warm in the garage,
yeah.
boys. Chris, what's our big potato this week?
All right, so the potato this week is the craziest shit spectators have done live at a game.
Oh baby,
Okay.
I love this.
this is gonna be a good one. Who wants to go first, JoJo?
You know what? Sure, I will. Now, I think I was thinking about another Todd idea the other day, and I was thinking about, memories that are just like seared into your brain, for forever about
Hell yeah.
things in your childhood about I remember when that happened. I remember I was probably way too young to be watching a championship boxing match, but in November 1993. So I was 6, but I was watching this boxing match, and out of nowhere, a dude named James Miller jumped off of the roof. How the hell he got on the roof? I have no idea. Of the
John Wilkes Booth style?
Of Caesar's Palace, with a fan strapped on his back and a parachute, and parachuted straight into the ring on live national television.
Oh my God.
On this outside publicly televised Caesar's Palace heavyweight boxing match between Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe. This was a massive, massive fight. All right, so this was
That's amazing.
Wait, was he supposed to go over it and he didn't get enough air?
God knows, but he just went in and his parachute got stuck in all of the lights and everything, and he comes crashing down. He lands in the ring and falls backwards, knocks down all these lights and everything. Riddick Bowe's wife has a heart attack or something. She has to go to the hospital. She was just so frightened, and she almost got crushed. She goes to the hospital. So right after that, it took him forever to get it cleaned up and for everything to be taken away. And Riddick Bowe's wife's in the hospital. This was Riddick Bowe's only loss of his career. All right, so they come back in there and Riddick Bowe loses this match. All right, but then he beats Holyfield again 2 years later, because this was the second of their trilogy, because he won the first one, and just absolute mayhem. So he ended up being 43-1, and his only one loss is against a crazy asshole, but with a parachute and a fan.
Awesome.
Do we have a motive? Any kind of just?
I have no idea.
How did he get up there with the
paraglider?
Did the
All
dude
right,
live? How bad was the crash? Okay.
No, I mean, he just got stung.
fuck
He got
himself
strung up in the lights. He got strung
okay.
up in the lights and just went and just went down, and everybody just mobbed him. I mean, it was just mayhem.
It's a great start.
his wife was pregnant, so she fainted from the sound of popping lights because she thought it was gunshots. That's horrifying.
Oh,
that
okay,
is
so
terrifying.
but either way, she went to the hospital, and Riddick Bowe lost. So
holy cow, Chris, can you beat?
Wow.
Can you beat that?
I don't know that can be beaten, but in looking around for a second option, because I already knew what my first one was going to be, I found the most deranged shit that I have maybe ever read. In 1986, we are at Yankee Stadium, and Wally Joyner is leaving the field after the Angels beat the Yankees 2-0 to sweep the series.
Okay.
And one unknown fan felt incensed by this sweep and decided to share his displeasure by throwing a 12-inch folding knife at Wally.
12
it's a folding knife.
What is a
12
folding knife?
inch folding knife. You use them in like hunting and stuff. It like folds up so it can like go in a
The
backpack.
blade is 12 inches long?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
okay.
A hat,
It's
like
a
a
monster, like it's like a machete that can
Oh my
fold. Gets thrown at Wally, and luckily, according to Wally Joyner, the knife just nicked him
Just nicked.
and just like lands on the ground. And he's like, "What the fuck was that?" He said he thought that it was a comb, and looks down and sees just a behemoth knife that someone threw at him
my
from the upper deck. The Angels coaches had some thoughts. Their manager said of the knife that you wouldn't have had a difficulty killing a bear. The pitching coach's response is, "There are some sick fucking people here."
Oh my gosh, 12.
So how the hell did it get in? I mean, I could see like getting like
So
your like
this is
Boy Scout pocket
1986.
knife.
Like, not only did it get in, but like people were so like the thing that just blew my mind, because I was reading like an archived story of this having happened. The story about a 12-inch knife being thrown at a player was only like a quarter of the write-up. The rest of it was talking about how well the Angels had played, their hopes for the playoffs,
Oh my gosh.
them being glad to be able to put the Yankees in their rear view as they look ahead to the rest of the season. Like just a blip of this write-up was about that somebody threw a 12-inch knife at a player after a loss, and then they're like, all right, and then just back to the regular color commentary.
Beautiful knife. Beautiful.
Because they're just like, well, this is the mid 80s in New York. There are knives being thrown everywhere.
That's
Why
true.
do we care about this one?
and
a good
syringes.
Just
Damn, okay.
absolute bedlam.
I'm going to go a little more wholesome family fun. Anyone ever heard of the Kissing Bandit? We've all heard of the Kissing Bandit, right?
Oh yeah, yes.
I don't think I have. Please tell
That's
me.
hilarious.
Oh, her name is was it Morgana? Morgana? I don't know. The Kissing Bandit is what we'll call her.
Morgana. Yeah.
Guess what her?
Whatever.
So
Yeah.
she was an exotic dancer. Guess her bra size. What's your favorite letter?
Are we really doing this?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
you're
I
gonna guess a
know,
letter
so,
right
yeah.
now. What
gotta
cup
go with-
size?
I got to go with double D's then.
Oh no, it's like G.
I, baby. She's got I. She's got an I bosom. So her shtick, it turned into a whole thing. She would run on the field with her eye-sized bosom flopping everywhere. She would run up to a player and kiss him.
Yep.
So some of the people
a
she
little
kissed
smooch.
in her career: Nolan Ryan, Pete
Those
Rose,
classic, yeah.
Johnny Bench, George Brett twice. Must have liked old George.
Yeah.
Lynn Barker, Cal Ripken Jr., and then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. How did she sneak onto a basketball court? Wholesome
Basketball
fun.
court seems easier than a baseball field.
Yeah,
That's true.
it sure
If you get the
does.
right seats, she did have she was a stripper, but with some comedy. She would wear two 10-gallon cowboy hats over each tit.
10-gallon.
10-gallon. That was her dancing
God.
shtick. She called Dolly Parton flat-chested. And it cost her $50 a pop for a bra because they were custom made.
Oh my God.
I
So
wonder
this
what
is
they'll do
Jolene
today.
then.
Yeah.
This must be Jolene. It has to be. So and people loved it. Everyone knew by the end who she was, what she was doing. They would kind of just let her be.
They just like gun. They
just,
just
like-
happened. She
yeah.
just ran. Well,
Like, all right,
slowly
whatever.
Ran, but
Slowly ran, almost knocked herself out. She would run
you can't-
the George
can't really
Brett
run.
one, the second George Brett one. I think he just knew what was happening. He was at the home plate. No security runs on because they know
Oh, here
the
she
kissing
comes.
bandit's coming.
Yeah.
Just
They
let her-
smile. They kiss each
Yeah,
other.
it's coming.
It's coming. The kissing bandit, guys. Bring back America like that.
Yeah,
shall we?
I mean, hey, McCoy, be the
horrific-
change you want to see in the world.
I.
Yeah.
Did they even have
is
I back
insane.
then? I think wasn't Double D a new addition to the whole thing? Like an I. I can't believe it.
You got
Joey,
your A,
number 2. You got your
B.
AB, 2 loops in the back, 2 cups. Frank
The bro.
Costanza, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. Joey Linehan, pick number 2.
The good old Malice at the Palace.
Oh my gosh.
November 19th, 2004.
Great call.
I remember this vividly because I was watching this game live. All right, because I was back when you had to watch games live. Nobody besides the bourgeoisie had TiVos.
Yep.
All right, and so I had to literally just watch it. And so I was watching this game, and this is when I got introduced to what rabid, ridiculous, drunk fandom is.
Oh my gosh.
And especially when it's in Detroit. All right, and so it was just probably the most infamous fight just in general in sports history. You know, there was a lot of
Probably.
like team brawls, you know,
was
but this
electric.
one was absolutely insane. So people who don't know, is late in the game, there's only a couple seconds left. I know this game ended up not actually finishing. They just called it because it was just such mayhem. All right, there was a foul on Ron Artest, and he was just
Good old meta.
so blown up. Oh, that's right. Now he goes by Meta World Peace. Actually, I don't even think he goes by that anymore. It's just
No,
Meta
he's
something.
back to run our test.
Oh, okay. Okay, nice. He's back to Ron Artest.
Changed his mind.
Okay. So there's less than a minute left, and Ron Artest gets a foul, and they get in this shoving match with Ron Artest and Ben Wallace, and they tee up Ben Wallace, and the crowd goes insane. So Ron Artest, being this asshole that he is, just goes and lays on the scorer's table's bench and just egging on the fans. Now, why I say these idiot dipshit fans, they start throwing, and one dude throws a full freaking beer and it hits him like dead in the chest. Okay. Now normal people would see that and be like, oh shit. No, not Detroit fans. They start just egging him on, calling him out. He beelines it into the audience and starts throwing haymakers.
Oh my gosh.
Just haymakers. And then right behind him, Steven Jackson comes up and starts throwing even harder than Artest, because a couple of guys have got Artest in their grabs. This goes on for a while. The whole team's up in the stands.
Didn't Ben Wallace get up there too?
Ben Wallace was up in there trying to throw fans off of them, you know, and then he started fighting the Pacers players. Now, on the way out, Jermaine O'Neal is trying to walk back to the locker room. And these two fans come onto the court and get in Jermaine O'Neal's face and try to stop him. And Jermaine O'Neal throws a punch, slips, and it decks a dude right in the throat. All right, and this fan just drops this fan. It's like, "Argh!" And they both go down because he slipped, and just absolute chaos. Everybody's
Just
throwing crap
bedlam.
on the court, just bedlam. But so yeah, a fan interaction of just fans were getting they were throwing themselves too. It wasn't just one side.
That's a Mount Rushmore.
God, that's
interaction.
all-time fight.
Malice
that's
at the
amazing.
Palace.
All right, so this is like, as far as like spectators fucking with games, like I was excited to talk about this one. So to preface, there is no one in sports who is more heady, whose mental game is more critical to their performance than pitchers. Fellas, are you familiar with the SEC's ball count chants?
No, now I'm excited.
So in the SEC, if you're a pitcher and you start throwing consecutive balls and you get to 5, the entire stadium starts chanting, ball 5, ball 5. Next one, ball 6, ball
no.
6.
I saw that this year with
So
A&M.
let me go ahead and play a little clippy clip of A&M, who once upon a time reached ball 12 before Mississippi State pulls their pitcher, brings in a new guy. Watch this dude shake like a leaf as he tries to get out from under this. He's being put in. The count is already at ball
Oh,
nine.
no.
The place is raucous.
Plumlee enters into a ticklish situation here for Mississippi State.
Ticklish.
He inherits a 2-0 count to Braden Shoemake, the best hitter this season for Texas A&M, and he misses badly on his first attempt. 11 straight pitches out of the zone for Pilkington and Plumlee.
This is like the first tee. You've never been so nervous to throw a pitch.
Look at him shaking.
Bases loaded, one out, one already across this inning. There's a strike.
There's a strike. Good for you, kid. Shaking
The
like that.
opposing team goes just bananas for you because you finally remember how to throw a strike. That is
so
like
brutal.
That's bad.
That is the sort of thing that will mess with your mind for the rest of your pitching career.
Probably your life. You
Never,
could be,
like,
yeah.
like you are just reduced to a pile of rubble as tens of thousands of people count out your ball streak.
Damn, I can't believe, Joey, you didn't take this one. 1961,
Obviously.
Boston Patriots, Dallas Texans, who are now the Chiefs. It's the only time in NFL history a fan came in and made a play to help their team win.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I forgot about. Oh my God.
So the Texans were losing. The Texans were losing 28-21. They were on the final play, and there is video footage of it of a guy. And everything I read, the guy was drunk. The guy was drunkenly going on the field.
Nobody sober is making that choice.
No, I can help.
But he makes the play. So they snap the ball. The guy runs from the back of the end zone, and I think he deflects the pass or he makes a tackle.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think
He does it.
Yeah.
The game is over after this. The refs saw the guy come in and make the play, but at that point, there was no written rules if a fan makes a play.
And everybody
no
rushed
review.
the field. So
There's no review, and fans were rushing the field. Texans were so pissed off. The guy went to jail and got arrested, but the dub stood for the Boston Patriots.
But the legend lives.
The legend lives. He was
We are
drunk.
60 years later.
Could you make a
man
play
is drunk.
drunk? Could you make a play? He can't. I mean, it was an actual impactful play. 12 guys on the field. He didn't need no pads. Come on, that's the best fan interference I've
Got
ever
the whiskey
seen.
pads on,
Yeah.
boys.
Oh my gosh, made a
Go to
play?
that dude.
The Patriots have a bunch of weird stories like that. Like their landscaping guy during the snowstorm just drove this tractor onto the field right before the game-winning kick and plowed a spot for the kicker.
That's right.
And it just kept going. And everybody's like, "What the hell? You can't do that!" But like the guy was like an ex-convict. He's like, he just
There ain't
jumped
no
on-
rule. There ain't no
jumped
rules on
this
that.
John
Yeah, he's
Deere
like, what are you
tractor.
going to do? Yeah.
Send me back. Like I don't.
Yeah,
These
that's
guys are
awesome.
making plays. Also, fun fact: I found one. Remember the guy who streaked with a flare in his ass? He had a lit flare wedged between his ass cheeks as he ran
I
on the
wonder
field.
if he had to clench. It's kind of hard to run and clench.
You got to
Yeah.
clench.
The guy I forgot about, was it where was the year? Was it like 2021? The guy who made a prop bet that there would be a streaker on the field. So he put like the mortgage on the prop bet, and then he was the one who was streaking on on the field.
Yeah,
Was
they
it a
caught
Super
on to
Bowl?
that.
Or was it a
Caught on to
playoff
that.
game?
I'm going to do it.
Got the bet voided, got himself arrested.
It was voided, but hey, he tried. You got to go through some friends you got to be smarter than that.
Put one order of operation between you and that bet, man.
Yeah,
Like,
and
that's it. That's all
win
you
a
got to
lot.
do.
You know what was
God, I
crazy?
can
As
only
I was doing research for this, the first streaking was in London in 1973. Like, what?
The OG. The OG.
Like, the OG streak. I mean, it took until the 70s for that. I guess everybody back then, like, that's, you can't do that.
What's
Yeah,
the golf guy who had the 18th hole on his ass? Or the
19th
19th hole on his
19th
ass?
hole.
The last one I found, the horse racing streaker 2011. He was drunk. He hopped on the racetrack,
Did he get
tried to
trampled?
race the horses.
on foot?
Oh, hell yeah. Did he win?
He didn't get trampled. He didn't die,
he
but he did.
place?
And we got Jeff down the stretch. Jeff by a nose.
Jeff by a tip or something. Like what we just.
Jeff by
the
a tip.
By a road
Lenses
flare.
crotch first.
Just by a road flare. Just clears it.
It was the same guy. It was the same. That's how he kept up with the horses.
adds
The flare went off. Yeah.
It adds propulsion.
Oh my
Beautiful. That's just
No rules against that.
No rules against that. Oh my gosh, so fucking stupid.
God, that was the dumbest shit ever.
Remember, Juice Junkies, you can listen to the show on all major podcast networks and YouTube. Please follow and rate the show and leave us a review through Apple. We encourage you to follow the YouTube and Spotify channels. Haven't said in a while. Push those subscribe buttons, McCoy. Also, be a friend. Tell a friend about the podcast. Join our Juice Junkie community. Cody, back to you.
All right, guys, our picks are over. Another year down,
You're
guys.
done, boys.
We're going back stat of the day, guys.
No, who won? We had 5 picks each.
We had 5 picks, and each pick was worth double.
Okay, Chris.
I had the healthy lead going in.
So everybody had a chance. So there's 10 possible points.
Okay.
We'll go in reverse order. So first and foremost, Brandon, way to go. You got 2 of your 5.
Okay.
Okay.
In last place on the season with a record of 32 and 35.
Damn.
Juice Boy McCoy.
Okay, good. I thought
You
it
went
was-
4 and 6 this week. In third place, the Wheel of D-Gen, 34 and 33 with a 4 and 6 showing.
Okay.
So random will win you money. You just put random things and push spin.
And it'll go.
And you'll, okay.
Well, 34 and 30, like it's a 50-50 shot, and it went 34 and 33.
So you won money.
So exactly 50-50.
So odds are, yeah. You did.
Because by the time you factor in the VIG, you're actually down money. In second place, with a record of 35 and 32 and 4 and 6 this past week, is the Sultan of Sift.
Chris, you came back to win, you
And
son of a...
Chris.
Place is me, 35, 30, and 2. Joey, we had the exact same correct calls. It literally was just that I had 2 pushes.
Oh my God.
I had 2 pushes. That was the only reason I edged you out.
So with the
Otherwise,
same wins, you just had
same
2
wins,
less losses.
Less losses. Yeah.
Oh my
I was the only one
God.
that had pushes, and I had 2 of them across this entire season.
God.
Much better showing by the Juiced Boys this season. Like, we were all in the hunt right at the end, including the Wheel of D-Gen. Like, that's pretty dope.
Chris cleaned up this year. NFL
Pushes.
Pro,
Push.
betting king, NFL predicting king,
Hell yeah.
and just all around terrible guy.
let this be known that even with me not selling out my soul and making a pick for the AFC West winner, I still came out on top. So you can be a winner and keep your soul. Remember that, McCoy.
You guys have run me off.
You're done. You got no.
Oh my
I
God,
gotta go.
we were about as gentle as we could have been to you.
Yeah, I tried.
I gotta go. You don't cry in a corner.
It wasn't good, buddy. I'm sorry. It wasn't.
Really? Was it not? Was it not
real
good?
not
I
good.
haven't heard that.
It wasn't.
Really, really not good.
You know what else wasn't good? The ending to the show. All right, I'll do my own joke. All right. Sounds good. 80 episodes
Much rather
in.
leave you hanging.
We will get back to other sports. We'll figure out what we want to talk about.
Yeah,
Golf,
we'll do our
basketball,
NHL and NBA
NHL.
preview next week after their All-Star break, and when the season really starts.
Yeah,
So.
you know. Stay tuned. Love you, Juice Junkies. Tell a friend, be a friend. Tell your enemies, people you hate.
Absolutely.
Tell
Tell
them to
everyone.
tune in. If you get a smirk, a smile, any part when you listen to the show, we love it. So tell someone about it.
That makes it for us.
It do. Plus, for listening internationally, give us a holler on the social media. We'd love to hear what the hell is going on in your world to where you wound up here.
Love, love, love. See you guys next week. Hopefully, we'll all be a little nicer.
Bye.
Bye.
Eagles fly.